What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. Hope you guys are doing well. So I wanted to hop on here tonight and make a short little video about an awesome rig that I just started using. Self-taught as far as just researching, looking at videos and stuff, but I was self-taught to how to put it on the line, how to put the bait on the hook, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it is very, very effective. But they call it the Texas rig. I'm not sure of the history. All I know is that it's supposed to catch some monstrous fish. I guess that's where it got its name from. Texas, they like big things, so big fish is one of them. But anyway, so I want to show you guys a rig tonight that I use and will continue to use throughout this fall. So let's get to it. So this past weekend, I threw out this little lizard that I had in my tackle box for the longest time. I went out to the flea market maybe, at the beginning of these YouTube adventures, and I snagged some really pretty purple lizards. I actually got them from my girlfriend Dan. She's really into those really pretty lures and pink and purple and anything that shines, she wants to throw it out there. But strange thing is, she never uses them. But I did last weekend, and let me tell you, I dominated the bass last weekend. They were eating this guy up. But let me show you what it is. It is a 6-inch zoom lizard, purple with purple flakes on the inside. Clear with purple flakes on the inside. And let me tell you, this has been getting more fish in less periods of time than any other bait I've used, especially big fish. And when I say big fish, I'm talking bass. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you jump down to my videos and check out the abundance of bass that I caught this past weekend. I caught in total number of 6. I hooked into a couple of nice sized ones and a couple of babies, but they all still count as long as you hook them and reel them in. But let's get down to business as to why we're making this video tonight. Since I've been having so much luck with this rig, I just wanted to share with you guys because I think it could do anybody some good to learn some new techniques. Me, I'm not a pro fisherman. I get out there, I catch whatever's biting that day. And sometimes it's usually nothing, maybe just bluegills. But like I said, this past weekend, I snagged a couple of nice fatties. And I want to say it's all thanks to this Texas rig, purple zoom zoom blizzard that I threw out there. But anyways, so this is what the rig looks like. You've got your offset hook and you got your lizard on it. The way you fish this, the way you retrieve this in the water is you throw it out there, let it sink down, 3 seconds, 4 max. And you do a slow reel. Slowly reel it in. Don't jerk, don't do anything. Just slow your reel. Alright, so let's move on to actually getting this thing in the water and getting it into action. So, as you can see, the lizard sits straight on the hook, on an offset hook. Offset hooks work best for this. The definition of an offset hook mainly is the fact that at the very top of the hook there's a little curvature, which means it's offset. So just remember, when someone says they need an offset hook, that's because they have an offset off the actual pinhole up top. Alright guys, so let's get down to it. Let's get down to how you actually get the lizard to the hook, get the hook to the water, and get your fish going. So basically the finished product looks just like this. Your lizard sits straight on the offset hook, which causes it, when you retrieve it, to actually swim like a lizard's actually going through the water. That is the idea. The idea behind good fishing is to use baits that the fish are used to. Swim baits, shad, things that look like little baby bluegills. Something that they're used to in the water, because that's what gets them. So you have to do a little bit of research whenever you go fishing somewhere. You have to be familiar as to which fish live there, what they feed off of, how deep it is, and so forth. So now with this rig, the beauty of it is this is going to hit the bottom. And as you're retrieving it, like I said, it's going to cause the motion of the lizard to just flail back here because of the water. And it's going through like this. The retrieve is super, super simple. All you have to do is cast it out there and give it about 3 seconds. At most, give it about 5. And as soon as you count your 5 seconds down, slowly start reeling. And as you're slowly reeling, it's going to cause that action of a lizard to come up and go through the brush piles, the wood piles. And it's going to jump those, because the beauty of this rig is is that the bottom here, if y'all can see it, the bottom here is what causes it to hop off these things to make it look like it's really swimming in the water, which is pretty cool. But the bass are actually going to come up behind it, or they might come up to the side and try to nibble at it. But whatever they do, they're going to get hooked. Because if you ever caught a bass and you go to grab it, you see how wide their mouths are? That's how wide it actually opens in the actual water when they go after their bait. So, as this thing is slowly retrieving, that bass is going to come up behind this sucker and it's going to latch on. As soon as it latches on, you set your hook. And since the hook is shown out the back end of the lizard, it's going to get the top of their mouth, or it's going to get the roof of their mouth, and that's where you want to hook them. You always want to hook them in the face. That's where it counts, in the face. So how do you rig up one of these cool little thingamabobbers? You're going to use a Texas rig, and that's what this rig's called. This is called a Texas rig. But what you're going to use is, I use offset hooks, which are a great addition to bass fishing, because you can put anything on them. You can put your worms on them. You can put your swim baits on them. You can put your hollow-bodied bluegills on them. It doesn't matter what you use. You can set something on these hooks. Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you to the creator of offset. My favorite offset hooks to use definitely are the Eagle Claw laser sharp hooks. Go to your local Walmart, go to your local Academy. Those places will have these kinds of hooks. Now, let's get down to it. So, I normally use Zoom products. I absolutely love Zoom. The flukes, the lizards, the worms. Absolutely love them. So, shout out to Zoom products out there. If you guys are watching, you guys make the best, I believe, one of the best bass baits ever. So, let's get started here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the nose of the lizard. I don't know if you guys see it. This little nose right here. And you're going to stick your hook inside of it. Now, you're going to get about a good centimeter in. And then you're going to push the hook out through its chin. Its chin's right here. So I'm going to push the hook out through its chin. And then I'm going to get the hook all the way in. At this point, before you hit the offset portion of the hook, turn the hook around to where the hook is actually facing the top, just like this, and you're going to bring the lizard all the way up to the actual nose of your hook, to the actual nose. And then you're going to make sure that you evenly distribute the lizard's body. That is very, very critical when it comes to this, because you don't want a natural look when you go out to the water to try to catch bass. You want the most natural look possible, especially with your baits. You want something that you know is swimming in those areas that bass are going to feed off of. So always do your research. But I'm going to bend this lizard and I'm going to hook him straight through. And if I've done this correctly, which I believe I have, he is going to sit straight on my hook. Y'all see that? He's sitting straight. So the beauty of this is when I cast this sucker out and it hits that bottom water, it's going to look very, very natural. Alright, so if there are two things you can take away from this video tonight, one is to definitely you need to use this rig, because the Texas rig is where it's at. And two, make sure you guys are familiar with where you're fishing. Make sure you know what's out there that the big fish are eating, whether it be small little minnows, small little shad, small little bluegills. Just remember that bigger fish always prey on little fish. And you always want to make sure that you're using what looks natural. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much with this video. I thought it would be pretty cool to teach you guys something that I learned on my own. I tried for a month to get people to teach me how to bass fish. It was an up and down. It was a he said, she said. It was a lot of Googling, a lot of YouTubing, but I finally snagged my first bass last weekend and also snagged a couple more before the weekend was over. And the way I did it was through this rig. So I want to help fishermen like me that are beginners, not professionals, to go out there and actually pursue to use these baits and use these kind of lures and get out there and get what you can get, because winter's coming soon and we're not going to be able to fish for quite some time. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm sorry I have to cut it very, very short, but I just wanted this to be sweet, informative, And hopefully you fishermen that are watching this will try this out and get out in the water and catch you something big this weekend. If you haven't yet, make sure you go check out my 3 favorite Georgia fishermen, DAllMyD, Jiggin with Jordan, and Yappy Twan. All their links in my description below. If you guys want to know where I got these things, I'm going to leave a link to Walmart down below. Make sure you check them out. They actually have pretty good prices for all you budget fishermen. If you guys are looking for some pretty cool baits to use that you never got to use before, all you have to do is go check out LuckyTackleBox.com and BassBaits.com.